This tiny mocha pot change actually made my coffee better, which is annoying because I kind of thought it was going to be one of those pointless internet coffee hacks. But loads of you commented on our last mocha pot video saying, try an AeroPress filter. I always use paper filters now. This completely fixed my mocha pot. And honestly, I kept seeing the same thing everywhere online too. Huge Reddit threads, coffee forums, people absolutely swearing by this little paper filter trick. But then there's another group of people saying it completely ruins the whole point of a moka pot. So today I wanted to actually test it properly. I'm Lizzie and I'm all about helping you make better coffee at home. If you want to learn more about that, then subscribe. Today we're trying this with one of our Dominican Republic red honey coffees, because if a coffee already has loads of sweetness and clarity, I don't really want to steamroll it with overly aggressive moka pot brewing. And honestly, I think this trick works for a really specific reason. Normally, if I had a coffee like this and I wanted to taste all the nicer flavours properly, I'd probably just make a V60. That's the obvious answer. But sometimes you don't want the obvious answer. Sometimes you want something stronger, something heavier, something with a bit more punch to it. As you can probably tell, that's definitely what I'm in need of today. You just don't want that harsh, muddy finish that moka pots can sometimes drift into. And that's why this trick is interesting, because people online absolutely love this thing. The trick itself is really simple. You take a paper filter, usually an AeroPress filter, rinse it, place it on the top metal screen, then screw the moka pot together like normal, and that extra paper catches a lot more fines and oils before they reach the cup. So what you usually end up with is less sludge, less bitterness, a cleaner finish, and slightly more flavour separation. But the trade-off is you lose a bit of body too. And that's the whole debate. Because for some coffees, losing that heavy texture is a bad thing. But for other coffees, I actually think it helps the coffee make more sense in a moka pot. For this test, I kept everything else pretty standard. Water just below the valve, medium fine grind, basket filled level, no tamping, lowish heat, and then one rinsed paper filter on the screen. Honestly, the heat matters way more than the filter does. If your moka pot is screaming and exploding coffee everywhere, the filter isn't your issue. The best way to test this properly is side by side. Same coffee, same grind, same heat. One normal, one with the paper filter. Because when you taste them next to each other, the difference becomes really obvious. So we're using the Dominican Republic beans. I'm just gonna grind them on size 3. Okay, so that's the first coffee done. That's the regular moka pot, nothing special there. So this time around we're going to use the paper filter, but same thing first. We're just going to fill the top with our coffee. And then we need to rinse the paper filter. Give it a good rinse. So now we're just going to get the rinsed paper filter, and don't put it on top of the coffee, because if you don't get it right first time, you're going to make a big mess with coffee grounds flying everywhere. So you want to put the rinsed filter in the dead center of the top chamber's filter. Just make sure that you can see the O-ring so that we still maintain a good seal when we put the chamber on there. So you don't want it looking like this, you want it looking like this. Okay, and then we have the paper filter version. There's definitely a difference in the clarity. So this cup without the paper filter seems a little bit muddy, just slightly more sediment. This version that used the paper filter, you can see there's a bit more clarity. There's fewer deposits in there, so more clear, hard to see on camera. Okay, so this is the original moka pot recipe, no filter. Delicious. It's such a balanced cup of coffee. It's strong, it's punchy, it's got some really delicate flavours in there too though. Let's see if the paper filter made any difference. That's a, very different texture. Same really good flavour, like they both have this incredible fruity, it's almost like a strawberry note, but the texture of this cup is so different. It's way cleaner, it's much brighter, thinner, it doesn't have that texture that you normally have with a moka pot. It's just like a really strong pour over. If it was a dark roast, I wouldn't bother. I love the texture of the moka pot with the dark roast flavours, but with this delicate, fruitier flavour, It's so nice to have that thin, clear texture. This is kind of my honest take on the whole thing. I don't think paper filters make moka pots universally better. I think they make certain coffees better in a moka pot. Like this Dominican red honey coffee, I actually think the filter earns its place. Because now I'm not just making strong coffee, I'm making stronger coffee that still tastes like the bean I paid for. And for me, that's the sweet spot. Now, obviously, this doesn't magically fix bad moka pot brewing. If your grind is way too fine, your heat is too aggressive, or you're tamping the basket like espresso, this isn't going to save it. The basics still matter way more. Good heat control, no tamping, water below the valve, and taking it off the heat before the coffee starts turning bitter. The filter is more like a finishing tweak, not magic. So, is the paper filter trick actually worth doing? Honestly, I think for the right coffee, yeah. Not every coffee, not every person, but on coffees like this, I genuinely think it makes the moka pot taste more intentional. Not bigger, not bolder, just better. So now I'm curious, would you rather keep the classic moka pot texture or trade a bit of body for a cleaner cup? And if you haven't seen our original moka pot guide yet, go watch that next because honestly, getting the grind size and heat right matters way more than adding a paper filter.